Before I do that, I wanted Judge Leon to do Ruben first. I was kind of deferring to the lady and the higher power, at least in this camera. You know better. But before, I want to say a few words about Trey. First of all, I'm honored to be here to administer the oath of office. And I've done a lot of oath of offices, but very, very few that I've done with friends.
Oh, excuse me.
And so for those of us that have known Trey for so many years, we call him a lot of things. Well, only the best. I mean, he's been called a son. He's been called an attorney. He's been called TSC Board of Trustee. He's been called, he hasn't been called a father yet. But the one thing that we can all call him is friend. And you've been a great asset to this community. Not only because you bought the Hanson house from me, I'm so happy. But he's truly been what I believe public service is all about. And I want to thank each and every one of you for the public service that you do. I know it's an unpaid position, and you always hear complaints. But I want to congratulate you for taking the time to run for public office. For those candidates that are here and are either in a runoff or not in a runoff, those that did not prevail in this election, I'm just happy that y'all participated in the process. We need more and more good people to come out and vote. And I was in in Edinburgh earlier today, and the message is, it really doesn't matter how fast Hispanics are growing. And I hear it all the time, we're growing so fast. It really is meaningless if we don't get out to vote. It means nothing. So I ask, there's elections going on right now. It doesn't matter to me, what party you vote in. Just get that vote out and make our numbers count. I'm ready. All right. You ready? Raise your right hand. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, oath of office, I state your name.
I, Trey Mendez,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties
that I will faithfully execute the duties
of the office of Texas Southmost College District,
of the office of Texas Southmost College District,
Place 4,
Place 4,
of the state of Texas,
of the state of Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and laws
and laws
of the United States
of the United
and
States
of this state.
and of this state.
So help me God.
So help me God.
You got it. Thank you, sir.
I don't think I can give anywhere near as good a speech as Carlos. I think he gives one in his sleep. But most people don't know Carlos and I are actually neighbors. And being neighbors with a former county judge was pretty cool. We knew our streets would be paved and there wouldn't be any issue with crime around that area. But it's really kind of cool being next to the Secretary of State now about 95% of the time. But the other 5% is when you actually step out of your house at the right time and you see Carlos next door in his tank top and his boxer shorts going to get the paper. So that's a 5% when it's not really that cool to be the neighbor of the Secretary of State. But I'm really just humbled that he is here. We've been friends for a long time. I think we've been neighbors for about 8 years. Like he said, I bought my now office from him, and I think Brownsville and the state is really fortunate to have a Secretary of State of the caliber of Cascos. He was an extraordinary county judge, and he's been probably the finest Secretary of State we've had in a really, really long time. It really means a lot that everybody's here. This was not as hard an election as the last one, obviously, but it was still something that we couldn't take for granted, and we wouldn't have been here if everybody didn't come out and vote and exercise their rights. This tie, actually, I got a lot of compliments on this tie. And this tie means a lot to me because this tie was actually given to me by my opponent from the last election, Mr. Rodriguez. After we ran our race, we were friends before, and during our race, we were both we had different ideas of what we thought the college should be, but at the end, once the election was over, we were friends, and I guess as a sign of goodwill, and Pee-wee brought me this tie. And it really meant a lot because it shows that no matter how hard the battle, no matter how hard the fight, at the end, gentlemen and class prevails. You can be friends at the end, and that's the way I want this college to be. That's the way I want this board to be. And Kiko was a fantastic trustee for many years. Him and Mr. Torres and Anela and I fought one of the hardest battles that's been fought in a long time, and it was because we believe that Texas Southmost College should be preserved rather than eliminated. I think it's nice to see some of these Save TSC shirts here, because those same shirts were in the audience in 2011 when we decided to separate and preserve Texas Southmost College. And in that time, I think, though there was many people who thought it was a wrong decision, I think you'd be hard-pressed to find very many that still think it was a wrong decision. And since then, we've been able to build the college up. We've got some fantastic personnel, some fantastic employees, and we've done a good job building up the college. We have actually decreased the enrollment by 37%. We haven't raised your taxes. We've grown from a little institution with a few employees to an institution with a couple hundred employees, and we're just going to keep growing. And I think the first phase was making sure we saved it, preserved it, and got our accreditation. We've done that. So now the next phase is going to be growing it and turning it into what it was, which was one of the finest, if not the finest, community colleges in the state. And the one thing that I'm not going to sacrifice is I want to make sure that we have the quality there. I want this to be a high-quality institution, but not at the sacrifice of accessibility or affordability. So with the next guy that's coming up here, Ruben, I have high hopes for him. I have high hopes for the board. We need to continue to work together, and it's not about one person. It's about the institution and making sure the institution is here in 90 years. So thank you very much, and we'll see you. Before I forget, round of applause for my mom, please, for being here.